Welcome back. So a new video today, and we're going to be covering the newest edition, but it won't be to the game room. This will be to the living room. So as you can see here, I've acquired a pinball machine. I've always been wanting one, and this one came up for sale locally in our area, and it was at a pretty decent deal. I've seen these things go. Our pinballs are going up in considerable value as well during this time. And so when I found this one had been restored, it's not restored 100%, but you know, it's had use. It was in a store, it was in storage for a long time, and apparently someone tried to break in and broke off the side here to get into the coin thinking there's money. So the guy had to replace the sides, he replaced this, he painted kind of orange, he was trying to theme it out a little bit like the fireballs on the front, which I'll show you here shortly. And so it's been painted to look a little bit different. The G's on the grills, and he did a mod to add a little Ryu figuring in there with the glowing Hadouken, which I think is really cool, and I'll show you. He put an old beat up car of his kid, the guy that I got this from, and it's a Corvette. So instead of having the original, which they always broke on these because they were at a thin plastic. And so he put a Corvette in there, which I think is pretty cool, and it's all metal, so it's never gonna break again. And he fixed everything on this thing, made it as nice as it could look, replaced flippers. I mean, a pinball machine is something that you have to maintain and work on a regular basis.
It's exciting fighting a weakling like you.
And then this, you know, and he did the LED conversion on this thing. So this is a really cool 1990, I believe 92 Gottlieb System 3 pinball. It's something different for most pinballs. Some guys don't like this machine and other guys do, so it's a very niche pinball. But you know, because I'm very into gaming, I wanted to find something that was related to games, which is, there's not that many pinballs out there that I'm aware of, you know, like Super Mario. There's 2 Super Mario pinballs, one's extremely rare, both of them are highly sought after. And then there's of course Street Fighter 2. I think they made about 5,500 of these, if I'm correct, based off what I saw online. It's set to free play. It has the key. It's as complete as I'll ever have one of these. It's not in the nicest of conditions as far as the play field, but you can still get all the graphics. I'll still have to wax this every month to make sure I maintain the quality of it. But let me show you how the machine works. So you just hit the start button, and the game's a little different. So I'm just gonna do one quick game here. So you can see here the ball goes down, and then you hit the ball. And the way the game works is you have to defeat the opponents. So let me see if I can defeat an opponent here to show you Let me see if I can defeat an opponent here pretty quick. Might take a little longer. Okay, so I'm gonna try to see if I can beat E-Honda. Nope. Come on. I like that it... Oh, I messed up. I've gotten pretty good at this game, but on camera apparently not. So, let me see if I can beat a character here shortly. There we go. I beat somebody. So you beat them, it gives you 2 options, and then you just, I'm gonna pick Cart Crunch, so the cart goes down there, you hit it, and you beat it, and boom, it comes out, you get your Cart Crunch bonus. See, I just beat E-Honda, and so then immediately it's gonna go into select an option. You want 5 million or multi-ball, you can select multi-ball, and boom, it goes into multi-ball. So that stop and go pace of this game is very different from a lot of the other pinballs. So that is the reason why maybe there's some people that don't like this pinball machine. It plays a lot more like to its source material. I really think they did a good job with the source material in trying to bring the video game to home in the sense of a pinball. But let me go ahead and turn this off. So as you can see there, it's a very cool pinball machine. I was using the little baby. I was using one of these to actually do the recording at an angle. You got to get creative sometimes. But as you can see here, the artwork's pretty decent shape. They did have the bar here that they usually put for security, prevent people from opening these because people try to break in, because you can just put a screwdriver in here and pop it open. He kind of went with a different color scheme with the blue. I mean, it's not color matched, unfortunately, but hey, I think it kind of fits in with the entire design of the cabinet. Most of these will just be, you know, like stainless steel. These will all be black here in the middle. The artworks, like I said, is pretty good. There is some damage here in the corner that you can see where they pried this open, but you can't, I mean, the wood is still very solid, so there's not really much of a worry there. New flippers, and it tells you here the instructions on how to beat this game. If you beat all 12 opponents, it'll go into what's called champion mode, and you have to beat all 12 opponents again with one single ball without a single mistake, and you get half a billion points for doing that. High score I've got is around the 800s. I've seen scoreboards for this in the billions, so I have a long way to go if I want to become a very good master at this game. Here's the other side art. Looks really good condition. I mean, there's scrapes here and there, but for being a survivor and being used a lot, I'm surprised that the cabinet is very solid built, and it's, at least it was not in a very humid area where all this stuff is going to flake. And then painted the legs here. You can see Gottlieb, the G. This is the original artwork of M. Bison here on the sides. The original T-molding. I'll probably replace this T-molding because you can see it's all cracked. So I'm gonna replace it with a new T-molding so it can look all fresh. There is a mod to put a color, a pin to DMD, whatever they call it. So I will be doing that in the future. As far as the play field, you can see there, it's really cool. There's the Corvette in there, which I think is really funny. And there's a little flipper, so you hit the car with the flipper and push it back. And the game is really weird in the sense that sometimes you have to hit it more than 3 times to actually consider the car crunched. Sometimes it could be 4, sometimes it could be 5 times for you to consider the car crunched to get your bonus points. So it can throw you a curveball there and you think, oh, I'm done. No, you got to hit 1 more time or 2 more times. And then a guy online, from what I'm told, was created this little mod here. There used to be like a little dome. I still have it stored away. But there used to be just a little dome with a light. Well, a guy got these figures, I don't know from where exactly, so maybe someone in the comment section can say where this figure came from. But he has a Hadouken, and he drilled a hole in there and put an LED in there, and then the wire runs down his leg on the back end so you don't see it, and it goes in and hooks up. So when you turn it on, it flashes that LED there like he has a glowing Hadouken. This is not originally on these machines. This was a mod that was done. So I think that's really cool that there's a little Ryu figure in there actually kind of around all of this. And the artwork is just, it just screams 90s. Like, look at that. Chun-Li does not look like Chun-Li. Ryu does not, I mean, it looks like Ryu, but the facial features and all that does not look right. Especially if you look at, let's turn this back on, because it's making a lot of noise. So the LED conversion, of course. Oh, there goes the ball going away. But look, I mean, come on, look at that. That artwork. I mean, the Blanc kind of looks like the one from the Super Nintendo cartridge. But these character models do not match. That Ken looks atrocious. Look, the body proportions are just crazy. But I like that 90s look to it. You know, I know they've come out with revised translights for these that you can buy online that look a little bit more modern. I know there's also artwork you can put here on the sides that I've seen as well. And then the guy that I owned this bull for had put stadium lights there. So basically you just put like a little metal bar and then you put lights and it'll light the playfield even more. But he took them off. I might re-add them to add a little more color to it, like a different color background, like maybe blues, very dark blues on the side to kind of illuminate that dark blueness. Because, I mean, the board is kind of like a purplish color. You can see there is damage there to the playfield, at least the protector up front. Because there's just a laminate thing over it. You can kind of tell here at the bottom of M. Bison, you see where it ends. So the playfield is not in the best of conditions. It's been restored because apparently this glass shield was busted. And this was all super dusty and stuff at one point. But hey, you know, it cleaned up, I would say, pretty nice. I got it at a good deal, I would say. These pinballs are going up in value from what I saw. I recently saw an auction here in not in my area, but an online auction where one of these went for like above 2K, like almost 3K. So there's pretty much people trying to get some of this stuff now. These pinballs were really cheap years ago from what I was finding in the forums. I wish I would have gone into I wish I had the room for it to begin with, but I wish I would have gotten into pinballs a lot sooner, because there's also other pinballs I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get the Tron Legacy pinball, which is an amazing pinball from what I hear. And I'm also trying to get the Mario pinball. It's not an amazing game, but it's a really cool pinball machine. Regardless, here's the key. So I kind of just put this key here on the Street Fighter 2, on a PlayStation 2. I don't think this is the original key. Down here you can control if it goes into tournament mode. I always have it on tournament mode. There's a test button here. Here's all the insides of it. There's the play field. I'd have to remove this bracket here to kind of get access to be able to get access to the play field. He put new speakers. I do need to replace the soundboard. If you heard it, it's missing the drum track. It has every other track in the game except the drum track, so you don't hear the drum, the kick, and the cymbals and all that. You're missing that drum track if you listen to another video of a person having one of these. But luckily, the guy threw in a board. This board probably has like a memory issue, but the board hasn't been touched by anybody, so there's not a lot of solder points. This board that we're currently using right now, unfortunately, has been messed by somebody, I guess, trying to fix that track issue, and their soldering was really bad, so we kind of just want to leave that one as is, as like a backup. I'll get this memory issue fixed on this one and install this one at a later time, and then I'll have two soundboards. That is one thing that I will say about Gottlieb. Gottlieb made really, really solid boards and machines. They're pretty much, as far as the boards, pretty much maintenance proof. They're in there, but the only issue really they have is their soundboards tend to crap out a lot. So if you get a Gottlieb machine, just be wary that their soundboards are probably the cheapest and most prone to fail on these. Stargates have been replaced. Apparently these original Stargates were really bad. If you see down here, there's an actual ball here. This ball here is for the tilt mechanism. Oops, I dropped it. So this tilt, if you tilt this machine too hard, it will hit a sensor up there and it will start beeping and let the operator know, hey, they're messing with this machine, what the hell is going on, type of thing. There's some information enclosed over there for switch locations, matrix diodes, solenoid coils, all that, fuses, coil chart. I am missing the original booklet for this, but I think on eBay they're like 20 bucks or something like that, so I have to buy it. What else is going on here? But yeah, the original speakers are here. A bunch of fuses, some other casters I have are there. So everything's pretty. I got it complete and original as far as getting all this stuff here. So I'm good with that. New metal plates here on the side, and you see when you open the door, it gives you the option to set free play. I don't think you can probably see it too well on the video screen, but you know, game features, special replay, extra ball. You could turn stuff on and off. But once you close the door, then you go back into playing the game. Let me go ahead and show you the inside if anybody is interested in a inside of a. I mean, people have probably seen videos of this before, but let me go ahead and show you my machine and show you how that works. Oh god. So, if you ever want to own a pinball machine, this is a light board here. You just loosen these bolts here on the side. It lets you pull up a hook mechanism, and then out it comes out. And then these are all your lights there. And here are all the boards and what they do. There's like power boards. So there's an auxiliary soundboard up there, and then this is the main soundboard, the one that there's something wrong with. If I flip it on the back, you'll see that there's been a lot of traces and a bunch of crap done to this board. So I'm not gonna mess with this board, leave it as is. It works, minus the actual drum track. There's a diagram here that kind of tells you there's a driver board, this is a control board, this is display controller, and there's auxiliary power, and then this power supply right here. And some had an actual additional communications adapter there. This one did not need that, so it's not there. And then there's tons of cables. So when I brought this home, I had to take this entire top piece out because it wouldn't fit in my SUV. So I had to unhook all of everything, just leave the board sitting there without being hooked in. And I took tons of pictures and stuff. And then I had to kind of figure out where everything went. And I remember I hooked everything together, and I couldn't get it to mess with the features. I'm like, there's something wrong. Kind of find out I didn't seat in one of these properly. I pushed it in all the way. But as you can see, it's pretty much a bunch of boards, a bunch of wires. It does look intimidating, but once you understand what each of these boards, you get an idea of where everything goes. And all these wires drag down here or into the DMD here, and they light up everything. But if you are into getting a pinball machine, just be very aware that this is not just you just get it and you just play it for forever and there's no maintenance. No, these things require a lot of maintenance. Sometimes to clean these play fields, because you don't want the gunk to build up and scratch up your play field even more than it already is. Like in my case, I have to clean this more because it's already a dirty play field. These have to be cleaned, depending on how much you play them, twice a month, once a month. The rubbers as well have to be cleaned out, because the rubbers, all the gunk on the balls will get on the rubbers. You have to clean out the rubbers. So there's a lot of things you got to do here to make sure that you maintain your pinball machine. And it's not just a simple, oh, I bought it and I just play with it for forever. No, you have to take care of it. You have to maintenance it regularly if you want to keep playing these things. But that's it for the video. I hope you enjoy my pinball machine. It's a really cool piece of history from Street Fighter that not a lot of people might be aware about. But hey, if you find one of these out there, get a good deal on it. I think pretty much in today's market, these probably are going for around from 2K and under. So if you got one for $1,000, I would say that's actually a really good deal nowadays. Before they were selling like cheap, but now all this stuff is going up in crazy value. This nostalgia. But thanks again for watching another video, and have a great, awesome day.